Oh, Jamar Chase with the dive. Because Garrett Wilson's wide open. Garrett Wilson, touchdown Barrett. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video here in the Water Juice channel, and welcome back to episode number 1 of the Tennessee Titans 10-year rebuild here on Madden 23. That's right, this is going to be the final 10-year rebuild of Madden 23, because as you know, Madden 24 is on its way very soon, and we will pick up the 10-year rebuilds towards the end of the Madden 24 cycle, which will be around probably like April, May, June, July, August, all those, or June and July, like we did this year with Madden 23. Although I will mention that the Patriots 10-year rebuild will begin the Madden 24 cycle like we have been doing the past couple of years. That's kind of like the staple beginning series that I do on Madden 24. Besides getting everything ready for the relocation series and doing all that kind of stuff, that's kind of the main thing that we have started to do at at the start of every Madden cycle is the Patriots 10-year rebuild. So that'll be coming at the beginning of the Madden 24 cycle, but all the other main ones will not come until after we've kind of gotten past the NFL season for 24. So the Tennessee Titans, this was suggested by Carson because he is a big Titans fan for some reason. I don't know why. And we are going to be doing, they were on my list, but I pushed them up because Carson, he asked for it. So here we are, the Tennessee Titans. They are in need of a rebuild. And will it take 10 years to win a Super Bowl like the Arizona Cardinals? It might. With a team like this. This is, I think, the most updated roster I could find. I tried to find a good roster. I mean, it has DeAndre Hopkins, so that's pretty up to date. I mean, he just signed like, what, a week or two ago? So he's here. Derrick Henry is our main piece on offense, but he is 28 years old. I'd like to keep him around for a few seasons. I can't guarantee that he's going to be here until he retires, because he's going to get old. He's going to get into his late 30s or his early 30s. He's going to start to regress. You know how bad running backs progress in Madden regardless of who they are. So, I mean, Derrick Henry's probably got maybe 3 years, 4 years on this roster. At the most, I would guess, maybe 5. But we will see. Maybe this year, or maybe this 10-year rebuild will slow his progression and he won't have to leave that soon. But I like to keep him around because he is a Titan staple. He is one of the best running backs in the league still, and he's just good. He's Derrick Henry. But I do want to take a look at his contract. I could just take a look at the actual salaries and stuff, but I'm on Derrick Henry. So he's got 2 years left on his deal, which means this year and next year. So he's got 2 years of the 10-year rebuild before we have to re-sign him, and hopefully we don't have to pay him too much because he's probably not going to be worth it at that point. He's going to be, I would guess, in the 80s, the mid to low 80s. So we will we'll see how that does. DeAndre Hopkins, also old, 30 years old, just signed here from the Arizona Cardinals, and I don't know what this contract's looking like. So he's got a 1-year, $760K deal. Okay, so we will have to re-sign him after this offseason if we want, or after this season if we want to. It's going to be interesting because he's going to be good still because he's a 95. So it takes receivers a little bit longer to regress than it does running backs in Madden. So we'll probably extend him for maybe 2 years, 3 years. We'll see how what kind of money situation we're looking at. And then the quarterback situation is probably the most important one besides fixing this offensive line because it's not good at all. We do have Peter Skoronski, who I will make a star development player because I feel like he is worthy of at least being star. So I will. I didn't make this roster, by the way, so if you see any development traits that aren't right, don't ask me. But I will make Peter Skoronski a star development player because I think that he's at least good enough to be that. So the rest of this offensive line needs a complete overhaul. Quarterback is the position. We're not going to be keeping around Ryan Tannehill. He's just not worth it. He's 34 years old, only a star development player, and he's expensive. He is expensive. 2 years on the deal. $57 million is his total salary. His cap hit is 38.6. He's just not worth it for the production that he puts out, especially in the game of Madden, let alone in real life. The production that he does in Madden is not great. So we have to look to either Will Levis or Malik Willis. And there are situations in Madden Simulation I've seen where Malik Willis grows to like a low 80 overall. But that's putting him in the right situations with the right receivers, the right playbooks, all that kind of stuff. Can we do that? Do we want to invest the time? Or do we just want to move on and draft a quarterback or just go with Will Levis? That could also be a possibility. They just drafted him in the second round out of Kentucky. And looks like he's the future in Tennessee, at least in real life. Maybe we'll give him a spot. I don't know. I guess it depends on what the draft class looked like down the line. Maybe there's a good quarterback that we think is better than Will Levis. Who knows? So I guess we'll just take it by ear. The only other receiver that is worth anything on this team is Traylon Burks, second-year man from Arkansas, or as I like to call them, Arkansas. He's got some good numbers. He's got some good attributes, but being normal development is going to be very tough. You guys know how hard it is for players to grow, especially second-tier wide receivers. It's hard for them to develop anything more than normal development. So it's going to be a little bit of a waiting game for him. But that is what the offense looks like. A lot needs to change on this roster. Then on the defense, we've got some promising pieces. Obviously, we've got Jeffrey Simmons, who should be under contract for a good amount of time, right? Or no. In Madden, he's on his rookie deal. That's right. So he's got 2 years left before he comes into free agency. So that'll be interesting to see if we can keep him around. We've got Sean Murphy-Bunting. You guys know him from the Brooklyn Barons. He's a stud. Will he develop like that in simulation? Because when he turned into the X Factor player that he was in the Barons series, we were playing every single game with him. So he was getting a bunch of interceptions. That's when he broke the record, the interception record, is because we were playing every single game. We're not going to be doing that in this series, so he's going to have a harder time to develop into the player that we know he can be from the Barons series. But I do like him still. We also have Caleb Farley, who's a nice young corner. We have Elijah Molden, who's young. Christian Fulton, I think is his name, and then Roger McCreary. We've got some good young corners that could develop, but it's a nice starting point. Then we've got Harold Landry, who will move up to be the starter over Arden Key. The linebacking core needs a lot of work. Amani Hooker I do like, and then Kevin Byard's a little bit older at this point. He is 29 years old. What's his contract look like? Is he under contract for a good amount of time? I don't know. He's got 3 years on the deal, so if we can keep him for 3 years and then maybe find his replacement in that 3-year span, that would be very, very ideal. But the rest of this entire team really needs a complete overhaul. There are some bright spots, like I said, with Jeffrey Simmons and Byard and Traylon Burke and Will Levis and all that kind of stuff, Skoronski. So, and Amani Hooker. Those guys are a little bit of bright spots, but I do not see this team being very good anytime soon. It's going to take us a while. I don't envision this being like the Houston Texans, where we win a Super Bowl in the first 3 years. I don't think that's going to happen. But the draft class that we are going to be rocking with is going to be the current draft class that the league is going into. It is going to be 2024, the draft class that we are going to be rocking with. And we've got all the boys in here. We've got Quinn Ewers, Tyler Van Dyke, although it says Ohio State for Tyler Van Dyke. That is not it's not true. He's from Miami, I'm pretty sure. Although, let me see if I have do I have another 2024 class in here? I might. Is that the only one that I have? That's the only one I have? That can't be the one that I use, right? Is it 2023? No, this is the Will Levis class. I thought that for sure that I had a different class in here. All right, let me see if I can find a better one, because I don't like that class that I had. Okay, so I've found a class that I do like. This class is a lot better than the other one I had. We've got Drake May, Caleb Williams, Extended Penix, Bo Nix, Shadur. I don't know how to pronounce his first name. I apologize. It's what's his name? Dion. I forgot his name. It's Deion Sanders' kid from Colorado. There's Tyler Van Dyke from Miami. That's right. Quinn Ewers is down there. This is a much better class. The running backs, Trayvon Henderson, Blake Corum, all the guys that you would expect. Wide receivers, you've got Marvin Harrison, Ibuka, all the people you would expect at the top there. And if we go to all, we've got Mike Hall Jr., we've got Fashanu, who is the Penn State guy that everybody is very high on, Joe Alt, everybody's high on, Dallas Turner. This is a good class. I like this class a lot better than the one that I had. So we're going to be rocking with this one. And you guys know that in the last series that we did, the 10-year rebuild with the... who'd we just get done with? The Texans. We drafted Marvin Harrison and CJ Stroud in that series. So, and Marvin, or did we get Will Anderson Jr. too? Well, we had Will Anderson Jr. because of the draft class that we started with. So we've got Marvin Harrison already. Do we go with Marvin Harrison again? I don't know. Probably not, because I want to, or maybe we do, because last time, I don't know. I'll figure it out as we go, but we are going to simulate the midseason mark. I am going to choose our objective here. I think we're going to stay conservative with 4 wins. I don't know if we get more than 4. We could. This team could surprise us, but we'll see how we do at the midseason mark. You guys know what the team looks like. The roster, or the draft class is now in place. We'll have to figure out what we want to do when we get to the draft, but that's still a little ways away. Let's simulate to the midseason mark and see what we're working with in year number 1. We've made it to the midseason mark. We currently sit at 2-4 on the year, kind of where I expected us to be at this point. We can negotiate with some players if we want to, but I kind of want to take a look at some of the overalls, see if they've changed. We had some upgrades. Skaronski's a 77, but we are playing down with morale, which is to be expected because we suck. So I'm not surprised there. Derrick Henry's a 95 now. I think he was a 94 when we started. All right, so some guys are playing down with some morale, but we do have some upgrades with overall on a few key players, which is good to know. Mock draft number 2, we're probably going to have a top 5, top 10 pick. We currently sit at the, oh, I was wrong. We have a top 15 pick. We currently sit at number 12, taking Brock Bowers, which I wouldn't hate. Brock Bowers is going to be a very good player. But taking a tight end when we have so many other positions of need, I don't think is the right idea. This left tackle, Fashanu, is going to be freaking amazing. So is Mike Hall Jr., so is Joe Alt. You really can't go wrong with the top 5, I would guess. But we'll see how it changes, and we'll see how our record changes as we get further into the year. I do want to take a quick look at those negotiations, those contract negotiations, see if we want to sign anybody to an extension. Who's up for grabs? DeAndre Hopkins we knew about, but he's asking for $103 million? There's no way. That is unbelievable. There's no way DeAndre Hopkins is actually asking for that. I'm going to hold off on DeAndre. Although I do want to see what's his interests. We don't have a quarterback with the franchise QB tag. We are, for some reason, playoff contenders. And he wants to be in a big market, and Nashville's not a big market. Okay. Very interesting. But I can't believe that DeAndre Hopkins is actually asking for that. That is insane. So we've got Sean Murphy-Bunting, who is only 25 years old. I do want to bring him back on an extension. 4 years is fine. We'll have to overpay him a little bit more than I would want to because he does not want to be here at all. So we will have to give him a good amount of money, which could hurt us in the long run, but this should do it. He's excited to stay. Okay, that might have been a slight overpay for Sean Murphy, but for Murphy Bunting, because I think his last name is the one that's hyphened. So it'll work. It'll be fine. Everybody else, I don't think we need to pay at all. I think we can go into this offseason in this free agency period and spend some big money. Hopefully there's some good players there that can help us build this team quickly. Nick Westbrook-Akine, I don't think do we need Nick? I don't know. Taylor Tart's 25, and he doesn't want like that much money, and he wants to be here, so we could get away with paying him a good little contract, and that's it. He's coming back for 2 more years. So I think we're just going to save the rest of the money. I don't think we need to pay any of these guys. We can obviously upgrade our offensive line very easily. DeAndre's out here asking for crazy amounts of money. At 30 years old, you want me to pay him over $100 million? Get out of here, DeAndre. I like you. I think you're one of the best receivers in the world, but not for that kind of money at your age. We might even trade DeAndre at that point. I'll see what he wants. Maybe his numbers will change by the end of the season, or maybe they won't. I don't know. Westbrook-Akine is very interesting. He doesn't want a lot of money. He could be a solid like 3 or 4 in the depth chart. I think I will pay him a little bit. We'll go with that. He's excited to come back. So we get him for 3 years. He's coming back. And we still have $51 million, and there's nobody else that I want to pay. So we can go into free agency this offseason and spend some good amount of money and get this team good pretty quickly. Let's simulate to the end of the season, see where we finish, see what our draft pick is, and I'm guessing we're not going to make the playoffs. So I'll see you guys there with going over the stats and all that kind of stuff. Okay, so as I predicted, we didn't make the playoffs, but hey, we didn't finish last. We finished tied for last, 7-10 with the Texans in year number 1. I'm very curious to see if anybody went up with overalls because we bounced back. We had a pretty good year. We exceeded expectations in terms of my win predictions. I predicted 4 wins. We got 7, so We did better than I thought we would. Derrick Henry is playing up with morale. He's back up to a 96, but he's technically a 95 still. Hopkins, we got to check and see if his contract asking has gone down a little bit. I would expect it not to. Harold Landry just keeps dropping for some reason down to backup outside linebacker. I don't know why he does, but whatever. The team's not very good, but we can fix that pretty quickly. Let's go to the stats and figure out what's going on. See what we got working with here. So Ryan Tannehill, 3,900 yards, 31 touchdowns, 9 picks. That's just not great. I mean, it's not a lot of yards, not a lot of touchdowns. It's a good amount of interceptions that he threw. It's not that many. We just need more. We just need more production from our quarterback. Derrick Henry had a phenomenal season, 1,600 yards, 13 touchdowns, average 4.5. That's a really good year for Derrick Henry. 1,200 yards for Treylon Burks. Actually was the leading receiver over DeAndre Hopkins. Not what I expected. 9 touchdowns. Maybe that'll get him possible Rookie of the Year contention. Maybe even just going up in star development just because. I don't know. That could be very big for Treylon Burks, who we have high hopes for. DeAndre Hopkins, 992 yards, 4 touchdowns. It is not worth paying him all that money for this kind of production. I mean, I know that he got 992 yards on 69 catches, which is pretty good, but this kind of production for how old he is at this point, not worth it. Kyle Phillips did pretty good. Okonkwo did decently well, and then nobody else really got a ton of catches. Defensively, we have our leader, Al-Shahir, had 108 tackles. Pretty good. Not amazing, but pretty good. 3.5 sacks for him as well. 99 tackles for Monty Rice. 14 tackles for loss is pretty good. Amani Hooker had 82. Sean Murray for Bunch had 76. Tackle for loss leader was Jeffrey Simmons with 17 and 15 sacks for him as well. That's pretty amazing. Danico Autry had 15. We had interception or sack leader was Jeffrey Simmons with 15. 11.5 for Autry. 3.5 for Arden Key. Okay, not too much sack production. It's like these two guys and then everybody else. And then we got interception leader was Roger McCreary with 2. Key had 1. So did a bunch of other people. Okay, so those are our numbers after year number 1. I'm really banking on the fact that Treylon Burks is going to go up to star development. If he doesn't, that's going to be really, really sucky for his overall development. I really hope that he can do it. We're going to simulate straight to the Super Bowl. We got to find out what our draft pick is. We have like 70-something, I think it was like $73 million in cap space. So that's awesome. Especially because we're not going to have to re-sign anybody else. We have $74 million, almost $75. It's going to be Colts and Packers, really? Ooh, Treylon Burks gets an upgrade point. That is beautiful. So he's up to a 78 overall, which could mean that he's also a star development player. I don't know if it would have switched over yet. Would they have given everybody their development upgrades? It did. We've got star development Treylon Burks. That's massive. Now we can go full in on Treylon Burks being maybe even our number 1 receiver. I think Treylon Burks could be that. That's huge. That's absolutely huge. Anybody on defense change? Weaver actually got star development. Danico Autry got star development. Byard went down to star. Very interesting there. I don't know why Weaver got star development. He didn't have that great of a season. I would have gave it to Al-Shahir if anything out of our linebackers, but whatever. Autry has star. Did he have star before? I don't remember. Jeffrey Simmons, X Factor. I think he had superstar before, didn't he? I don't remember. Whatever. Colts and Packers. What a weird Super Bowl here in the second year, or in year number 1, but it's 2024 technically. So very interesting. CJ Stroud dominating for the, or not. He's not on the. It's Anthony Richardson. I don't know why I thought he was on the Colts for a second. It looks like I didn't see who won the Super Bowl there. It looks like the Colts actually won. So Anthony Richardson, rookie season, wins the Super Bowl. Good for him. Who's the MVP? It's going to be Jonathan Taylor. No surprise there. Here are your awards. Jalen Hurts, MVP of the league. Devontae Smith, Offensive Player of the Year. Von Miller, Defensive Player of the Year. Wow, that's weird. Bryce Young wins Rookie of the Year, and Lucas Van Ness wins Defensive Rookie of the Year. So Lucas Van Ness on the Packers got to the Super Bowl and won Defensive Rookie of the Year. So that seems like a good draft pick for the Packers. Okay. We start the off season here. The most important off season is always the first one in these 10-year rebuilds because this sets the tone for how this 10 years is going to go. We got to get a quarterback. Do we trust Will Levis? I think Will Levis becomes our starter next season. I think we just cut bait with Ryan Tannehill. We figure out what to do with him, and then we just go straight to Will Levis and we let him rock. If he can't do it, he can't do it. We'll move on. We've got 9 years. We've done that in the past with Kyler Murray and stuff. So negotiations, let's just make sure there is nobody that I want to re-sign. DeAndre Hopkins, he did drop $30 million, so he's down to $70 million, but I still don't really want to sign him, I don't think. I'd probably prefer to trade him and maybe even get a draft pick out of it, or maybe a backup receiver that could be good and young, because I know that people, they like DeAndre Hopkins in Madden, so let's see. I hope his cap hit isn't too much. Can I take a look at that? Does he have a big cap hit? He has no penalty, but that doesn't mean that we can't trade him, or that he wouldn't take a penalty if we trade him. Very interesting. We're also going to pay Derrick Henry pretty soon, so we've got to be careful about that. We knew that going in, though. All right, let's talk trades with DeAndre Hopkins. I am curious to see what his value is. So if we go and take DeAndre Hopkins and we hit the get offers screen, okay, we can get some good value. Wow. All right, we can get a first-round pick and Greg Rousseau from Buffalo, which would be awesome. We could also get T. Higgins and Tyler Boyd. We could take the Bengals receiving core. We can get Keenan Allen, Chris Godwin. We can get DeForest Buckner and Grover Stewart. We can get CeeDee Lamb, Jalen Waddle. Wow, man. Kyle Pitts and a first-round pick. That might be the move. I know it's only pick 29. Aiden Hutchinson, David Bakhtiari, Odell Beckham, Chris Olave. I don't know if we could pass up on Kyle Pitts. We can get Michael Wenyu in pick 21, but that's next year's draft. I am either going to do Kyle Pitts and this first from the Falcons or Jalen Waddle. Those are the two that I'm thinking right now. I don't know how we could pass up on either one of these guys. So I'm thinking either Kyle Pitts or Jalen Waddle. Jalen Waddle's probably slightly easier to trade for than Kyle Pitts. And we're getting a first-round pick. I can't pass that up. DeAndre, welcome to another team. You are going to Atlanta. We are taking on Kyle Pitts, which is absolutely huge. He becomes a staple of this offense, and he's on his rookie deal. That is a huge target for whatever quarterback we end up getting, whether it's Will Levis or is it going to be a rookie or something. Everybody else, I don't think, has crazy value. Harold Landry, what kind of value would he have? Not anything close to what DeAndre Hopkins has. Mazzie Smith could be interesting. Elijah Mitchell, Rasul Douglas, Xavier Woods, Tyree Wilson. Okay. I'm intrigued by Tyree Wilson, John Mechie, Ezra Cleveland. I'm very intrigued by Tyree Wilson. I'm also intrigued by Deonte Banks, but that wasn't who I was thinking of. Mazzie Smith is probably who I was thinking of. Although we could go with Boogie Basham, but I think Boogie Basham would be pretty easy to get. I think I'm either going to go with Mazzie Smith or with where is he at? Tyree Wilson. I think I'm going to go with Tyree Wilson. 79 overall, right outside linebacker, replacing Harold Landry very easily. I think that's going to help us out. I don't know what his development trait is, though. Does he have one? Is it star? It's only normal, but I'm guessing he's going to have star, so I'll change that. In Madden 24, he's probably going to have star, so I'll give him star. And then, who else do I want to trade, if anybody? We're going to keep Murphy Bunting because we just re-signed him. Kevin Byard, I'm going to keep around for another season or two. Monty Hooker, we're going to keep. Let's see. Arden Key, Jeffrey Simmons, keep. Tyre Tart, probably should keep. Danico Autry, he's 33. We could maybe see what his value is. Is there anybody out here that's worth trading Danico Autry for? He is star development now. Emmanuel Forbes, we've traded for him before, and he turned out to be pretty good. There's Deonte Banks again. It's almost like they want me to take Deonte Banks. Christian Gonzalez, we've traded for him before, and he turned out to be very good. Devin Witherspoon also turned out to be pretty good. There's some good corners here that could end up being very good for us, and I think I'm going to go with Christian Gonzalez from the New England Patriots. That is just a big upgrade at corner. He now pairs up with Murphy Bunting and Christian Fulton and Caleb Farley. So this cornerback room just got a slight better and younger. I think those are all the trades that we're going to do right now. We traded away DeAndre Hopkins and got a massive return with a first-round pick and Kyle Pitts. What's mock draft number 3 even have us as? Since we finished 7 and 10, Patriots had the number 1 pick. Whoa, okay. We sit at the 11th pick, and then we also sit at now number 29 because it hasn't updated yet. So we have 2 first-round picks. We have number 11 and number 29. We can make that work. Let's move to the actual off-season opening with free agency. We have like 60-something million, $65 million after those trades to spend on some players. I hope that it's a good class. Zeke Elliott's here, but we're not going to pay him. Quarterbacks, we're just going to stick with Will Levis. That's fine. Oh, I wanted to trade Ryan Tannehill. That's right. Completely forgot about that. Running backs, we've got Derrick Henry, but is there anybody that's young that we could like have as a good replacement maybe? Ronald Jones is 26. That's interesting. James Robinson, 25, but he doesn't really want to be here. I don't know. Wide receivers to pair alongside our guy? Nah, nothing's there. Tight ends, we have we don't need tight end anymore. We have freaking the best one, Kyle Pitts. Left tackle, no. Left guard, no. Center, no. There's got to be somebody that we can spend this money on. Jalen Carter. Why did he? Oh, this. I hate when you get a roster at the end of the Madden cycle with the new rookies and their contracts are just messed up and stuff. That kind of sucks. But Jalen Carter did not get re-signed by the Eagles, so he makes it to free agency. And you know what? If he's here, he's here. I'm not gonna complain too much about it. I'm gonna offer him a contract because we know his value. He's probably gonna be star or superstar even. I would guess probably star though. So I'll offer him a 3-year contract, and we will see what he does. Hopefully he accepts that. I'm not gonna complain. If he's here, he's here. Yannick Ngakoue, Jimenez, Bobby Wagner. There's not really anybody in this class that I want. We don't need any corners now. Safeties. Who was that one safety? It was Terrell Burgess at 24 years old. Could be a decent free safety for us. He wants to be here too, so if we can give him that kind of contract, that could really help us. That's gonna. Oh, the Giants must have been severely lowballing him. And then there's no strong safeties that I want, no kickers that I want. Okay, so our targeted players are Jalen Carter and Terrell Burgess. I think we could be able to get both of them, evaluate the offers. They both signed, but did they sign with us? They did. We get Jalen Carter and Terrell Burgess. Perfect. That helps the D tackle spot and the safety spot. I'm going to go and make sure that Jalen Carter is the right development traits. So we will go and have him be probably, I'll give him star. I don't want to be too cheesy or anything, so I'm going to give him star development since he probably would have had star development anyway. We'll give him star. And we'll also make him the starting D tackle as well. Make him the starting D tackle. All right. So I can't make him the starting D tackle? Why can't I? What the heck? Why can't I make him the starting D tackle? What about if I generate the best lineup? That doesn't make him the starting D tackle. Excuse me? Hello? Hello, McFly? Why can't I make him the starting D tackle? What's going on here? If I go to the depth chart, can I do it there? D tackle, Jalen Carter. He's always starting at D or at left end. Why is he starting at left end? Do we not have a left end? Oh, that's because we traded our left end. Okay, so we'll have to either draft a left end or do something with that. I forgot. I do want to make Tyree Wilson star development too. I forgot about that. So we will go and change Tyree Wilson to give him star development. Now we might have. I talked about at the very beginning of the episode. I talked about finding the replacement for Kevin Byard. It might be not Tyree Wilson. It might be Terrell Burgess. That could be the new replacement for. That could be the new replacement for Kevin Byard. But before we go any further, let's throw Ryan Tannehill in the trade offers and see what kind of things we're talking about here. What are we talking about here? So we've got Sam Hubbard. We've got nobody good. DeAndre Swift. If I'm going to trade him, I want to trade him for something. What kind of value can we get for him? Do we go with Quinn Miners? I feel like I always get Quinn Miners. He's always just a solid player. There's always good centers in the drafts every year, so we don't need to get a center. Laviska Shenault. I feel like we need to get a wide receiver, and Curtis Samuel could be a good one for us. Christian Barmore. We do need a left end so that Jalen Carter's not playing left end anymore. Is Christian Barmore that guy? He's probably not the greatest left end, though. He's more of a D tackle, I would guess. Or I would think he is. Lewis Seen. We don't really need free safety anymore. We could get Stetson Bennett. I just realized that we could get Stetson Bennett. DeAndre Swift. Is DeAndre Swift the backup that we need? Or we get Sam Hubbard? We're not going to send him to Cincinnati because they don't need a quarterback. And the Eagles don't need a quarterback either. I'm in trouble because the guys that are the quarterbacks or the teams that are giving me the best offers are the teams that don't need a quarterback. And I don't want Korenko Quo. I don't really want him only because I can't say his name. Who do we go and give Ryan Tannehill to? These offers are not like spectacular, but I didn't expect anything amazing. Do we give him to the Panthers and just take Laviska? Is Laviska the guy? Let's trade him to Carolina. We get Laviska Shenault back in a trade, which is pretty good. He's a good secondary receiver for us. And now it's the Will Levis show, ladies and gentlemen. It is the Will Levis show for a little bit. Laviska Shenault, Traylon Burks, that's a good 1-2 punch. We need to fix this offensive line in the draft. And we need to work on the D tackle spot, or the defensive line spot in the draft as well. We have 2 picks, pick 11 and pick 29. We'll see how that goes, although I do have a good amount of money still. We could sign a left end just so that Jalen Carter doesn't have to play left end. So let's go and sign one. Who's available? Brandon Graham, Chris Wormley, Fatukasi. There's not really anybody here that's great. But we don't really need anybody that's amazing. We'll go with Fatukasi. I like Fatukasi, and he wants to be here. So, actually, let's drop his money down a little. We don't want to pay him crazy. Let's pay him that. And then we will go to the targeted. We'll hit that. He doesn't sign yet. We'll hit that again, and he signs with us. So, we have a new left end for Season 2. That just allows us to start Jalen Carter at starting D tackle instead of Tyre Tart, which I don't hate Tyre Tart. I think he's a good player. I just want Jalen Carter to be the starter over him. So, there we go. All right, we're already starting to see a little bit of a better team than what we had after the season, before the offseason. We're already starting to like it. But we still have mock draft number 4 and mock draft number 5 to kind of see where these players are falling, where they're going to end up. Mock draft number 4 has the Patriots taking Caleb Williams, Dolphins taking Mike Hall, Jack Sawyer at 3. So we could have 3 Ohio State players, 3 straight picks. That'd be amazing. I'd love that. Let's see. Fashanu actually dropped to number 8. If we could trade up and get Fashanu, would it be that great to trade up? We could get Egbuka and Denzel Burke. Those 2 would be amazing as well. But I think the only problem I have is drafting an offensive lineman in the top 10 would be, that's a little weird, especially when there's so many good players. But let me do a little bit of talking here. Although I am going to find out. I'll do the talking when we get to mock draft number 5. That's what I want to see. I want to see mock draft number 5 just to finalize what spot we might have to trade up to if we want to trade up. Because we could make Fashanu a right tackle, and then we'd have Skoronski and Fashanu as our 2 left tackle, or our 2 tackles, and that could be the tackles of the 10 years. That could be both of them for the entire rebuild. So here's mock draft number 5. Did anything change? Caleb Williams, so the top 4 is still right. Top 5. So Fashanu did move up 1. So it's a good thing that we didn't trade up with the Lions, because we would have still missed out on him. So now we know that if we want to trade up, we got to trade up to 7 with the Eagles. But Drake May also looks pretty good. Egbuka looks good. They have us taking Dallas Turner, which I wouldn't hate, but also JTT's here. We don't need Brock Bowers anymore. Denzel Burke fell. He was up at like 7 or something. That's crazy. Who do they have us taking down here at the back? They have us taking a center. Very interesting. We'll figure it out. We will figure it out. You know what I might do? I might try to see if I could trade my pick 29 and do a little bit of magic and get up to pick number 8 or whatever it is. So if we could trade, let's see, let's start easy. Let's trade pick 29 to get up to pick 20. Let's do that. Pick 29 to pick 20. Shouldn't be too hard to go up. It's only 9 spots. If we trade our 5th round pick as well, that moves it up decent. And then actually, no. We're going to do this the long way. We're going to trade up to pick 25. Who has pick 25? Pick 25 is held by the... Oh, there it is. The Bengals? Yeah, the Bengals. So we're going to trade up to pick 25. This should be fairly easy. Fairly easy. We'll trade next year's 5. And that didn't get it done, but I'll trade this year's 5 as well. How's that? You like that? They like that. So we move up to pick number 25 from 29 with Cincinnati. And then we just keep on doing that until we get up to a top 10 pick. So if we trade number 25 with number 20, which who had number 20? I forget who that was. It was the Chargers. So if we trade number 25 to number 20, we should be able to easily get up there. Number 6 round pick. We could also trade. I don't want to waste too many picks. They need a left guard. And we don't really have a left guard that I trust. Although I'll give you Jamarco Jones. Does that help you? Oh, no, they don't have any salary cap. Okay. They have 0 salary cap. So it has to be a draft pick. I'll give you a 7. That almost got it done. But I traded both my 5s. I can give you... Oops, I can't give you another 6 because I already had it in there. I don't think I can give them anything else. I want to keep my 4, my 3, and my 2, obviously. Maybe 25 is as high as we can get. Unless we try to trade without the Chargers because the Chargers have no money. Maybe we try to trade with a team that has number 22, maybe? 21? Who's rocking with like 22 and 21? Whatever I see first is going to be pick number 22 with the Cardinals. They were literally right above. At least they have a little bit of money. This is declined, but if I give them Jamarco Jones, if I give them Jamarco Jones, do you like it? Does it move it forward? No, it doesn't. It doesn't move forward. Okay, they need a D tackle. We don't have any that I want to give up. They need a right outside linebacker. We don't have anybody that I want to give up. They need a tight end. I don't think I have anybody besides Kyle Pitts. Do I? I have Okonkwo, but he's still pretty young. They need a center. I don't have anybody they want. Although I'll throw him there. You want him? I'll give it to you. Hey, look at that. They take it. So we move up to 22 now. We absolutely need to draft a center. That's guaranteed. But we have 22. Can we get into the top 15? That's a tricky question. I don't know if we can or not. I'll try it. Pick number 22. We'll try for like pick 16 or 17 maybe. Maybe pick 17. I saw 16 there. Who was that? Seahawks have pick 17. Perfect. What about that? Nothing. Okay. All right. You know what? I wonder if, would this work if I try to find who had pick 21? If I just trade up 1 pick, it probably wouldn't matter. I'd be changing the entire draft basically. But if I try to, there's pick 21 by the Lions. If I just trade back, or they trade back 1, oh, they almost accepted it. They almost accepted it. What about if I give them my 7? Accepted. So now we have 11 and 21. I think that's probably enough trading up. I don't think we're going to be getting anywhere. I just don't have the assets, really. So now we go to private workouts. We already know a lot about a lot of these guys, that we know they're going to be pretty good. But if we can't get any of them, I would like to find out more about... let's see. Let's find some... Is there any centers that are down the board that we could find out about? Bryce Foster. I don't know. I don't really know where to go with these picks or with these workouts. They have us taking Dallas Turner. We might as well scout him just for safety. And then let's scout Denzel Burke and JTT. We'll scout those 3 guys. 3 defensive players. But we know that we need this defense to be pretty good, or we need a lot of help on it. So let's actually let me take a look at the mock draft one more time. What's the mock draft look like? So Fashanu dropped down. That's right. Fashanu dropped down. They have us taking Turner. Do I want... we could probably move up from 11 to 7 fairly easily. It's just a matter of, do I want Fashanu? I think he's going to be good. I mean, he's got the numbers. He's got the physicals. His numbers look amazing. He could be a franchise tackle for us on that right side. It's just a matter of, do I want him or do I want to just wait and see? I don't know. We'll go to the draft. We'll play it by ear. We'll see who gets taken where. Let's advance to the next week. See what positions get taken where and figure that out from there. Okay, let's see. So we start the NFL draft. Start drafting. If we need to make a trade, we can. Pause the draft. Patriots are the #1 pick. They take Caleb Williams, quarterback from USC. No surprises there. So then the Dolphins, they take Mike Hall Jr., and then we should get Marvin Harrison. No Jack Sawyer. So Marvin Harrison should be here, right? Yeah, there's Marvin Harrison. So 3 straight Ohio State players off the board is awesome. You love to see it. Joe Alt. All right, so the draft board is falling exactly as predicted, but now we're at the Eagles, and the Eagles were projected to get Fashanu, so maybe they'd be more willing to trade that pick to me. He is the top player on the board. I think it's worth it. I think getting our franchise left tackle or franchise right tackle, because we're going to move him to right tackle to have Skoronski next to him, I think that is the best course of action. So we're going to trade pick 11 to get up to pick number 7 with the Eagles. And hopefully this doesn't take too much work, and it doesn't look like it will. They need a strong safety. We have nobody that I want to give them. They need a right guard. We have Dylan Raduns. I don't want to give them him. Middle linebacker, we have Monty Rice and Shahir. Do you want Monty Rice? I'd be more willing to give him. Did that really change that much? It didn't change it that much at all. It looks like it's probably going to have to be another draft pick. I could give... I don't really have any much. I traded a lot already. I could give them my 4. That probably is going to get it done. Oh, it just barely doesn't get it done. What about if I give them my 7 from next year? Oh, you got to be kidding me. How does that not get that done? Let's go to... back to middle linebackers. What about if I give them Chance Campbell? Trade decline. It actually went down. They'd rather have the 7th than Chance Campbell. That's a little sad for Chance. Feel bad for you. Or what about if I give them Rashad Weaver? I mean, he did just go up to star development. I might be able to get away with not giving out that 4th. No, I probably have to give up the 4th too. Is this really worth it though? That's what I keep saying. Is it really worth it? I don't think it is. I'm gonna back off. I'm giving up too many picks. I'm going to back off. They can take Fashanu if they want. They're probably going to. Yeah, they take Fashanu. I had to back off there. I couldn't in good health take him there. Emeka Ibuka goes, and now we are up at pick 11. We also have pick 21. Remember, we traded up. So do we take Dallas Turner, or do we take somebody else? Do we take extended Penix, Michael Penix Jr.? He looks pretty decent. He's not super athletic, but he's got really good passing accuracies. All of his accuracies are an A. He's probably going to be a pretty decent quarterback. But is that the route that we want to go? I don't really feel like that's the route we need to go, considering I just gave Will Levis the keys. Elite speed for Dallas Turner. We're projected to take him. We might as well take him. Dallas Turner, welcome to the team. You are now a Tennessee Titan. I think that was a good pick for us for the value that we had. Next pick is JTT. Brock Bowers goes to the Commanders. Then Tyleik Williams. A lot of Buckeyes going in this class. I like to see it. Kool-Aid McKinstry. If Denzel Burke falls to us, that might be our pick. Oh, no, he goes to the Ravens. Okay. Michael Penix to the Giants. And then Javon Bullard goes to the Chargers. And now we're up again at pick 21. And we could take Cedric Van Pran. That might be our guy because we need a center. His jumping is poor, but that doesn't matter because he's a center. I think Cedric Van Pran is our starting center for Season 2. He's only normal development, but that's fine. 6'4", 313. He's probably going to be in the mid-70s. I think he's going to be a good player for us. Now we have... Whoops, I don't want to quick. Now we have pick number 11 in the second round. Who's going to be available in the second round? We've got Aeneas Smith, excuse me, Aeneas Smith, Tyler Davis, Blake Corum in the second round. Might be our guy. Tyler Van Dyke is also here. I don't think Tyler Van Dyke falls to the third round, so if we want to take him, we take him now. He looks slightly worse than what Michael Penix looked like. He's got pretty much the same attributes. How big is he? He is 6'4", 226. I think if we take him, we take him now, but I don't know if we want to take him or not. Storm Duck is still available. There's still some decent centers available. Maybe we could have waited a little bit. I think I'm going to take Blake Corum. 5'8", elite speed for a running back. He's got good attributes. Where's his juke? His juke is a B. His spin move's an A to a C. Okay, I think I'm going to take Blake Corum back up to Derrick Henry, at least for right now. 95 speed, I'll take that. His change of directions 86, agility 82. I think that's a good pickup for us in the second round. Get a backup running back to Derrick Henry. Maybe he's the future. Third round, pick 11. I don't think anybody that I was just targeting in the second round is going to be there still. But Storm Duck is here. All right. And so is Corey Foreman, who I do like. Elite speed, elite acceleration. His awareness is an F. His block shed isn't great. His finesse moves are good. Is he a power rusher? He's a speed rusher. I like the look of Corey Foreman. What's the look of Storm Duck? What's he look like here? He's got solid speed, decent strength. I think his zone coverage is a B, which is intriguing. I think there's some good players down the board here. I think that the best idea is to take Corey Foreman. Maybe we could trade back up and get Storm Duck. I don't really know if that's worth it, though. Let's take Corey Foreman. He's an actually hidden development player. 6'5" out of USC. 89 strength, 87 speed, 88 acceleration. That's a good pickup for us. I like that. But now the question is, do we want Storm Duck that bad? I don't think we need him. I'm going to skip to my next pick. Maybe he fell. I don't know. Scooby Williams, though. Maybe he fell to the fourth round. I don't think he did. He's not here. But Mario Williams is here. He doesn't look that good. Ja'Kalen Johnson. Isn't he a former Buckeye? I feel like that name sounds familiar. I think he transferred away from Ohio State. Jackson Dart at quarterback. Who's good value for this position in the draft? How about Akeem Dent? What does his numbers look like? He's a hybrid safety with elite strength, elite acceleration, and elite agility. Block shed's an A. Play rec's a B. A hit power. Akeem Dent, welcome to the team. Normal development, 91 speed, 84 strength, 92 agility, 95 acceleration. Akeem Dent could play a linebacker. He could certainly play a little bit of linebacker, 6'1", 205. He is 23 years old, which is slightly older than I would like, but hey, it is what it is. And that is our entire draft. I feel like we got good value for the positions that we needed. Obviously, we needed a center, and we got our center. He's normal development, but he is our center. He's probably going to be in the mid-70s. We got our guy, Dallas Turner, to be an outside linebacker, and we got a sneaky Corey Foreman hidden development. So that could end up being the steal of the draft right there for us. So Dallas Turner ends up being a 76. Van Pran's a 74, so I said mid-70s. Blake Corum's a 72, back up to Derrick Henry. And then we had Corey Foreman a 71 and Akeem Dent's a 70. So we didn't draft anybody lower than a 70. I'd say that's a huge W of a first draft. We got backups at positions that we needed. We got starters at positions that we needed. That is a very big draft for us. Obviously, Caleb Williams is going to be the best player in the draft. Then you got Marvin Harrison, Drake May, Joe Alt. All right, so the guys that you would expect. It looks like Fashanu is a 77, so all right, whatever. I feel like we got a pretty good draft. We got quantity over quality, and we got quality over quantity. We got both. I feel like that's a W of a draft. I like what we had right there. We got some really good players and mentor rookie spot for, I'm guessing, who would be the mentor rookie at wide receiver? Who is it? I don't really know who the mentor rookie spot's going to be at wide receiver, but we have Malik Willis, or we do have Malik Willis, but we have Will Levis as the starter, Derrick Henry and Blake Corum, Traylon Burks and Laviska Shenaults. Van Pran will be at the center spot this year. The offensive line still needs a little bit of work, obviously, but we have some building blocks there. We've got Dallas Turner, who is clearly going to start over Arden Key. I don't know why they would have him there. So I like Tyree Wilson and Dallas Turner. That's a good 1-2 punch right there. And I want Corey Foreman to start over Fatukasi. Hopefully that'll stay. I don't know if that will or not. And I want Christian Gonzalez to start over Christian Fulton. So this team already looks a little bit better than anticipated. I like what we got. And Nakeem Dent's over there at the backup strong safety spot too. So who's this? Oh, I guess it doesn't say wide receiver. I don't know why I assumed it was wide receiver. Let's take a little sneak peek. Who's the mentor rookie? It is Blake Corum. Okay, so let's go for long-term developments since you're still here, Derek. Yeah, let's go for long-term development. Sounds great. Conversations this week showing the tricks of the trade. All right, perfect. So we're focusing on long-term development of Blake Corum. We don't need him to start right away. But now we're even 80 across the board. So I think we had a very good off-season. Season 2 I'm excited for because I think that we can take another leap, especially with Will Levis being the quarterback. But that is going to do it for this episode. If you enjoyed it, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, join the Juice Club. Thank you so much for stopping by and watching. I truly appreciate it. And I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.